you to our audience that is waiting and ready from America, from Switzerland, from different parts of the world, and of course from Saudi. So the Art Talks are delighted to welcome the inspiring curator, Diana Wexler, and two of the artists attending this extraordinary cultural event, which is Sev Fav and Dania Al-Saleh. Thank you for joining us tonight. And then before starting, asking what is Bienalsur 2021, Diane, I would like to paraphrase some of your beautiful words, which I think summarize the touching beauty of our reality, especially in the last year, last months. So we flow between two dimensions, time and space, through different kinds of experiences, sometimes in person, sometimes virtually, like us tonight, which leads to a displacement in which other forms of configuration of the real are installed. Some experiences resonate like echoes, in others, thus changing the notion of reality. Beautiful and touching, and we are in Echoes, a world between the analog and the virtual, which is presented in Saudi Arabia in the framework of Bienalsur 2021, with the support of the Ministry of Culture of Saudi Arabia. Diane, could you tell us what inspired you to curate this extraordinary project?
Well, for us, when I say us is Bienalsur, I'm the artistic director of Bienalsur, and also I curate many of the exhibitions. For us, I say it's a great challenge to work with the reality. Because of that, we, as probably many people know, because it's part of our statement, we start searching the artistic scene, but in terms of global topics that are in the artistic scene are being working by different artists. Then in the whole process of our work for the third edition, that is this one in 2021, we find one topic that was very, very frequent, that was ways of living. And on the other hand, we find another topic that is the other face of the same coin, that is environmental consciousness. Both issues are part of the spirit of this exhibition. We feel all this condition in between the virtual and the real. The pandemic times face us with this real situation when we divide this condition of living. We live in a real time, we share the space, but now with these new technologies, we are sharing the time but know the space. Also, probably you are recording this, and tomorrow, many people will start visiting your webpage and participating in another time, in another space, with this same talk. Then this spirit is in the base of our exhibition, but also the poetical situation about how to deal with this condition in between the real and the virtual. Then I choose many works, like the work by Sev, the work by Dania, that are in between these two technologies. One more concrete with the domestic materials, the other one using some kind of complex technology, artificial intelligence, and both are part of the same reality. We live in these two worlds. Is that about this exhibition? But we have many other art pieces. Also, I would like to introduce something about Bienalsur, and if you allowed us to share our frame, we could show a very short video about Bienalsur in general, and after that about what happened with this particular exhibition here in Jeddah.
Yes. Then we are sharing. Seb, you have the screen share. Yes, and then we will see parts of your installation and Dania.
First is the trailer of Bienalsur, 45 seconds to show something in general about our project. Thank you. Thank you. This video shows the dynamic of our project that is based on a very large platform, a very expanded cartography with many cities working together as a network, many institutions. And I say cities, and I think on the city of Crans-Montana in Switzerland that is part of this network, this Bienalsur network. Then Switzerland is also Bienalsur.
Yes, and Diane, Bienalsur started in 2015.
In 2015, it started in a dialogue, in an intense dialogue between Anibal Hossami, that is the general director of Bienalsur, and myself. I am the artistic director, and we start talking about the international artistic circuit, the international artistic scene, and how in that circuit we saw in each biennial, in each fair, the same, more or less, the same artists, more or less the same collectors, more or less the same people. Then we started thinking how to work with the art system, but beyond it, trying to be more horizontal, to give chance to other artists that probably doesn't have a gallery or the access to other institutions, how to promote the possibility to work together, artists from different cultural horizons, from different cultural positions, and the unique statement for us is to vindicate the right of culture and, on the other hand, to give the opportunity to live in between the local and the global, in between the diversity, the cultural diversity. For us, this is for sure, the artistic quality, the clever artistic proposals. This is for us the main goals we try to find in each project, in each edition. Then we start working in 2015. We start talking with many colleagues, with many people that are part of the cultural and artistic process in different countries. And after that, we produce all the issues to move to the first edition. The first edition was in 2017, the second in 2019, and when we start with the open call, that is the way we choose the topics and the artworks, the international and absolutely free open call, when we start with that process in February 2020, do you remember in March, more or less, the whole world was closed because of the COVID. Then we received many mails from different countries, from different artists and partners about should we continue? Should we stop? And we reflect and we find that the dynamics we are trying to move, to produce, have the conditions to continue in different situations, in different bad situations, like in this case. Then, because we work with the local and the global, we could start and continue with Bienalsur even in these pandemic times. Venezia moved its agenda to 2022. Sao Paulo moved the agenda also. We maintain the same agenda, and we could work, we could produce this third edition, even the pandemic situations. This is one, for us, one of our goals, because shows how the artistic process could be possible in a very collaborative condition.
Yes, and so the criteria to choose the artist, so it was around the 2020. I was in Jeddah, and in fact, I met Dania in Jeddah just a couple of months just before the first COVID, and since then we became art friends. And actually, I fell in love with their incredible installation, you know, and was my first article on the Art Talk magazine was on Dania and one Shona, so you know, which you have today with you. So, but what are the criteria for the next edition, for instance?
The criteria in general are the same. We will open at the end of February, an open and large and free open call without any restrictions. We have no teams, no topics. We try to find the topics coming from the artistic proposals. Then, if I hope we receive so many projects than in the previous editions, we received in the last edition more than 5,000 projects. Then we read all the projects, we find the main topics from that, and we start selecting with an international team the best projects we find that are more interesting, more feasible, etc., and we start working with our partners in different countries to find what is the topic that is part of the interest of that local community, and we start producing each project for each venue.
I see. And how long will it be now? This so yesterday it started. So congratulations, because it's incredible. I think between all of this, you manage even to talk to us and to have some time for us. So really, thank you, because I do know what you know, before any fairs must be quite challenging, for you know, beautifully challenging. But so how long, if anyone would like to come and join you through COVID restrictions, so how long will it be?
The exhibition in Jeddah will end it at the end of January, 2 months to see the exhibition, to visit Jeddah, to enjoy the city and the Kusam Palace that was part of the challenge of this project, to match contemporary art with an old building, very significant for the history of Jeddah and for the history of Saudi. Then this was part of all the elements we have to take care to produce this exhibition.
Yes, yes, I see. Would you like now, Diane, to introduce Dania project? Do you have something to show us?
Yes, we have a short video.
The short video of the whole exhibition. We have the short video first to introduce. I will share it. So, okay. This one.
This one.
Yes. Okay. This one. No. But, sorry.
Sometimes it's not
Okay,
easy to
it's
deal
e- it's
with
e-
all of this.
okay.
Okay, you have seen a very short version of the exhibition in the first venue that was in Jax in Riyadh, and now we are in Jeddah. And I invite Dania to explain her work and why it's part of this exhibition. And after that, if you like, we could show a short video about your project.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you, Carolina, for this art talk. It's always a pleasure. So my work, I use a bit of AI technology, especially machine learning and deep fakes. And the concept of the work is about memory and nostalgia. And the work is based on old black and white Egyptian movies. Egyptian movies in the 40s, 50s, and 60s was considered the golden era of filmmaking in the Middle East. It was considered the Hollywood of the Middle East, and it was very profound. And those days, I mean, it was the Hollywood of the Middle East. Everyone looked up to it. There was the heroes, the heroess, the fashion, the models. Everyone looked up to these stories and what these actresses and actresses did. And there is a sense of nostalgia looking at these movies, where cultural identity was made, and there's a separation between what is real and what is fantasy, and that reflected on society back then, where the society is very conservative and very private. So I was playing with these notions of nostalgia, memory making, memory recall, and the process of the memory network. It is not reliable, it's hazy, it's not clear, and that reflected really on the video, where I used machine learning, and it created this moving images of real and not real people. You have this sense of recognition, but yet they are all deep fakes. They do not exist. And that's why the piece is called Evanesce. That means, the slow deterioration of memory. What what remains in our heads and what is real and what we think is real in our heads. So that's what the piece is about. I don't know if there's a small clip. It's a 9-minute video, but if you can show a small clip so the audience can understand what I'm talking about.
Because I think it's only when you see it, it's of course.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this, close it, and this one.
Thank you, Seth. You are an angel. Thank you. Okay. Only the audio, if it's possible.
It's a silent movie.
Okay. Okay.
You are looking the version installed in Riyadh. Our technicians are preparing the version. As you will see, this is the Kusam Palace, where is the piece relocated and shown in a very diverse way.
So these paintings are, so I moved the deep fakes from this movie image into canvas and made them as though they're real people, and giving this impression of, again, of playing around what is real and what is not real. It's funny that because a lot of people who visited the exhibition, some of them had like a sense of recognition that they knew these people, but somehow they were not sure. And that's what I wanted to play with, the emotion of the visitor.
And Dania, I remember that you told me when you, that some people were also, as you said, playing with emotions, and also were a bit shocked because when you told them that they were not real.
Yes.
It's actually very touching, because when you see them now, of course, it's a different, as Diane was saying, it's a different reality now through the virtual Zoom. But it's really when you look at them and you can actually portray your history, your memory, your grandparents, your wife, or any person that you loved, but at the same time, that
Yes.
they're not real.
Yeah, so there was a previous work similar to this, and I know I had somebody who connected deeply with the images they saw, and just it reminded them of their country, their identity. And she said, "Who are these people?" And when I told her they're deep fakes, they do not exist, she was actually she was shocked. And because she did this connection, I broke that connection with her and the audience. So that was really strange for me to see as well, something unexpected.
It's quite powerful, I have to say.
Thank you.
Very powerful. And no, it's again beautiful, and of course would have been even more beautiful to be there with you yesterday and today, but hopefully we will visit soon.
Hopefully.
So, and Dania, what are your projects now? So after this, what are
well, I'm working on an installation. Hopefully, it's nearly done for the Dir'iyya Biennale. So the Dir'iyya Biennale is the first Biennale that's happening in Saudi Arabia. It will open in 10 days, hopefully. And it's curated by Phil Tinali, and it's new, it's big, it's the first time, it's all eyes on it because it's the first big exhibition in Saudi. other than the Bienalsur, of course. So I'm working towards that, and there's a few projects as well for next year, hopefully.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And actually, we'll have the pre-text on our Art Talk magazine, which will be digital and seen soon. So hopefully,
excited for that.
so unfortunately, you are connected to the Art Talk from the beginning, Tanya. So Seb and Diane, do you have any other clips? Because maybe that we can see.
Yes.
Actually, they're very well done, I have to say. They're beautifully done.
We have a good team of shooting and working all the night to prepare. During the day they shoot, during the night they made these short videos and others for Instagram and other.
We have to say that unfortunately it's so big that the internet was not, we couldn't go and seeing it inside, as Seb said. So that's why it's actually beautifully done in this way, that we are watching a bit of a glimpse of what happened yesterday.
So I will show you another small film about my artworks too. This one. So I discovered the video also with you. So it starts also in Riyadh, and first finishing some pieces. And it's the installation process. And slowly the construction of the installation, it's always in situ. So I have something in my mind, like a plan, but always I adapt the pieces, depends the room or the venue. And the piece of the installation in Riyadh, it's different as the installation in Jeddah. And but the topics are the same, and all the installation is interactive. So all the people can interact with the installation. So this is in Jeddah. That's the venue. And yes, it was in Jeddah because the pieces are on the staircase. It was a really challenging installation, but at the end, it's look at this. It's a 22 meter in total. And yes, and you see the design, it's related to the electrocardiogram, the rhythm of the earth, the earth. And up, it's finished. So I stop short, I will explain. And the name of this installation is Être au pied du mur. This is an expression, a French expression about you should be in front of your responsibility. You cannot escape. And I would like that the people are confronted with the topics of the construction of the wall and borders around the world, but also between people. And I will say that each of us are part of this process. Each of us are part of the construction of the wall. So I invite the visitor to interact with the pieces. They can open the boxes, and inside they will find some eyes with some expression like sadness, fear, surprise. And also they will find some mirror, because in the other side of a wall, of a border, it's just another human just like you. And also you have all in the boxes, you have also different words related to emotion, because all the emotion are human universal characteristic. So in each country, for all human, all the emotions are the same. And the emotions are part of the construction of the role, because we are sometimes we have some fear of other people, or we are maybe unhappy or something like that, and we are not open to others, others, men or women around the world. And also all these emotions are also the feelings when people cross the border. Some of the visitors say to me, oh, this installation, it's completely who I feel, where I do to cross the border. I'm not so comfortable with this situation. I'm not sure I will be accepted, and they feel this kind of things. And I trust the people that take care of the installation. It's why I work with the paper. It's also related with the vote, because in some countries, it's the votation or election that after that some walls are constructed. And yes, it's a whole concept that the people can interact and feel all these topics.
Yes, and Seth, well, we met before you were departing by phone. We met by phone, and we never met in Switzerland. But it was exciting to to feel all this organization and departure for such an incredible event. And I also love that you looked at two young Saudi girls. They were looking at your, and I saw it from your Instagram, and they were shoulder to shoulder, and each with their differences but together. So that was beautiful.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. It's this kind of work not only creates some relation between the artworks and the visitor, but also in between the people. It's like a permanent happening. As a curator, you can sometimes organize like a specific happening, as we will do tomorrow, but with some idea and specific, but it's like a permanent happening, because during all the time of the exhibition, the people have the space to interact in a direct way with the installation.
It's very interesting when the art pieces move people to share experience. In the case of the piece by Seb, it occurs many times. You saw very well that picture with the two ladies, one behind the other, and it's very interesting, but also it's part of the experience we promote with this exhibition, to find the way to look at the place, to find the connection with from one artist to the other, from one project to the other, trying to not underline any senses. Each people could read with its own experience and share probably with others what does he thought about the exhibition or that or other work. And it's very interesting how in many corners we saw people talking about the exhibition, about the pieces, or about the surprise, or as Dania says, about what are these people that I'm looking in that film. They are real, they are not real. The story narrated in another video installation, that one by Angelica Marcoul, also was, it's real, it's not real. This double dimension about reality or not, about our experience, our day-by-day experience, about our imaginary, about our history, our memories, are all part of this exhibition. And well, these two artists you invite today to your talk are very clever and contribute very well to produce for this space of art, a space of thought. That is one of our proposals.
And I think you also said that this is a poetic exhibition. I love also in Dania Instagram this poesia, this poetry of, and I think in all of your artists, this is the thread that unites all of them.
Yes, probably the possibility to feel with art something that probably we have mute in our day-by-day life, but it appears, it emerges when we experience some poetical artistic proposal.
Beautiful. But before this, Diane, you were with Dania. I don't think with Sev, but you were already in
Argentina. Yes, it's interesting. Yes, thank you for asking this, because Sev and Dania were part of other exhibitions in Argentina, and the interest of this issue is that we work with the polysemic condition of the artworks. These two and other clever artists produce artworks that could evoke or trigger different experience. Or in that condition, the piece by Seth was part of another exhibition curated by one of our curators of the team, Marina Guerre, that is centered in borders, in real borders, in the problems of migrations. And the art piece by Seb speak about borders, about transpassing borders. Sometimes are imaginary borders, social borders, or cultural borders, but other times are real and effective borders that blocks the movement of people around the world. That exhibition is about this kind of borders, and the piece by Seb matches very well. On the other hand, the piece by Dania is at the end of an exhibition about environmental consciousness, and is in dialogue with other historical pieces of art, of modern art, that works with the human condition and how we live. We used to see in different historical moments the landscapes and how the human position is related in different times with the environment. The piece by Dania in that exhibition ends as a reflection about who we are as humans. These faces converted in masks, these changes, these mutations were part of many layers of senses, and in this context, in that context, evoke other situations diverse than in the Saudi experience.
Yes, and could you tell us what was the response yesterday of your audience? What were the feedback that you got yesterday?
I imagine that the answer of the artist could be stronger than mine.
No, the response was really interesting. The people always are completely amazed by the possibility to interact and touch an artworks, because we always have like this knowledge that we cannot touch, and broken this barrier and let the people touch and be involved in and try to feel how to interact with a piece and trying to discover something, it's always a great experience. And they enjoy it a lot. And after a part of the work for me, it's also to follow how they share the project on the social media. And I interact after that with the people that share the project on social media. I receive some message or some email and what they feel, some people say to me, oh, during one day I go to the exhibition and I only found some bad emotion. I go another day to find something, and the word that I think it's perseverance. So it was something like that. They share with me through the social media, and it's for me completely related to the thematic of the exhibition.
Fantastic. And Dania, with you was not so physical, but was more through a digital. How was it?
So it's interesting because you know, a lot of people stopped me asking me to explain what they saw, because they although they sensed there's like a sense of connection between what they saw and not necessarily the artwork, but the moving images, the way the images were moving, it reflected somehow how we try to remember a story, to remember an incident, you know, that happened in the past. And a lot of people stopped me wondering, who are these people? Again, asking me, who are these people? What is going on in here? I recognize them, but please explain this piece. And other people actually called me, telling me how moved they were watching it, as though it was reflecting how their own memories. And another aspect I found interesting is the generation gap. So the piece was connecting to a certain generation more than the younger generation, probably because the data set that was used in this artwork was a data set based on the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So the response from the different generations was very interesting to me. And that made me, you know, realize, you know, sometimes when you have the piece exhibited, you don't have any control over the meaning anymore. And, you know, as a form of continuation of the piece is noticing the response of the people, not necessarily me correcting them, you know, just letting them express what they feel and what their reactions are, and taking that input and thinking about it from as an artist's perspective and reflecting on it for other projects. We can't hear you.
Sorry. Because my dog suddenly wanted to welcome everybody. So no, I think it's again it's a beautiful when you can get, you know, this feedback, which is and it makes you also understand what you're doing, what you have done, and how people see it and what their emotions. But before asking David, all our audience to participate and to ask any questions, I would like from Diane to give us a little anecdote just before, if you could, while this wonderful event was going on, if there is anything that happened while.
Well, for example, with Seb's piece, during the montage, people were looking what happened with these little boxes in the mirror, particularly in the palace, because the stairs were fast road to move around all the palace, all the space, and many diverse people from different backgrounds, from different countries, Philippines, Pakistan, Saudi, and other places were part of the people who moved inside and Seb hanging in the stairs, trying to put all, and everybody asked, what is she doing there? What is that lady there with that little boxes? And when she finished, I start open the little boxes, and I don't know who absolutely fast took close. I go upstairs and open many. I go down, all was, I don't know, but probably someone feels that I'm touching the art piece and the art must not be touching. Then it was very interesting how people react when they don't know what happened and we are in a process. It's very interesting how people react. I open and I go back and all was closed.
Yes, it was just incredible. I go up on the ladder, do something, and I'm going down, and in the other side, I have 3 persons that look at me, just like they are not sure that maybe I will falling down of this or what's happened. But at the end, it was always just very kind, because every people look at this and say me a lot of things about when they understand that the box can open and something inside, and each box inside, and all these box with different things in all the box, they are just always perfect. And at the end, they ask me, can I take picture? And so, in Saudi, they like to take picture of you. So it's...
A funny situation was that at the beginning, the palace was there and was the palace with many rooms, etc. And during the process of the assembly, the rooms were renamed by the art pieces. That go to the room to Evanescence and take care on the lights or something. Go to the room of Lina, and we find that all the people rename one room as the chapel, because was all in blue light, and a video under the Japan Sea, and all renamed that room as the chapel. Was very funny how all the names, all the rooms were renamed by the pieces that were living there, that are living there.
Fantastic. Yes, actually, we were super lucky with the Zoom. Now there are some little connection, but before, no, we heard everything. So it was just the little minutes before. But if no, it's I think it's the nicest part of an exhibition, and that's why I always ask, because you must, of course, you must be super enthusiastic and so challenged to organize it, and then there are these things that you just laugh, and that's beautiful. I think that's art too. So anyone would like to ask anything to this wonderful project, and Diane as a curator, which is incredible to be here with us. I might ask David to jump in. You have to unmute yourself. Oh wait, I'll ask you to. You have to unmute.
I have to put on glasses.
Oh, David, how are you? Nice.
I'm fine. How are you, Carolina?
Very well. Very excited to have you all here tonight, and for our Art Talk magazine very soon on digital. We will have so many wonderful. David, please.
Oh, well, I'm curious about Seb's piece, and because the issue of touching it has to do with its value, possibly, like And I'm wondering if you're concerned about damage at all, or.
It's a completely part of the work. I work about also for my piece on Canva is the same, and the question of the value is completely part. In the case of this installation, I consider the trace of the people or something damage as a part of the work, as a
yeah, a byproduct of its use.
yes, it's the proof that the people have interaction. It's a proof that the artwork works.
Yeah, it did something. Yes. Yeah. I like that. It's wonderful.
Artifact. But also for my piece on Canva, I have worked with a mathematical student that count how many possibilities you have to do a different design of the pieces, of one pieces, and the number of possibility is huge. You cannot in a life do all these possibility. So if you have an issue with one boxes, it's about you. Will you just see this issue or seeing all the other possibility? They are always in the artworks.
I'm wondering also are there images in every box?
Yes.
So if a box is way up high,
yes,
it never gets opened.
If you want to visit the exhibition with a ladder, and
you have to bring your own.
Yes. If you want to take your children on your shoulders, and because people always, and I play with this. It's why a part of the installation, it's not simple to take. So to go to take the last pieces, you have something. You have something in the fixed part, and you have something in the removal part of the cover.
It's wonderful, yeah. I'm also wondering, what are you sitting in front of?
We are sitting here because, well, our agenda here in Jeddah is super intense. We were all the day in different dialogues with journalists inside in the exhibition, and we have 15 minutes looking at the Red Sea that was wonderful, I have to see, and the team of the Minister of Culture, that is a very great team that is working with us, is showing us other exhibitions, other projects that are going on at the same time, like Modern Sound. And well, because of that, we are now in the opening, in the offices of a gallery that is opening I think a very big, because we haven't seen it yet, of calligraphy, contemporary calligraphy. So we try to see.
We try to see.
Right. So you don't really know what you're sitting in front of there.
No. This is very Saudi artist. I wait because I forget the name. Ayman Jasiri. I met Ayman 4 days before, and is a very, very interesting artist who worked here from many, many years. And well, this is Ayman. Yes.
We start charging after.
Yes.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Thank you. And thank you, David. And anyone would like to add anything before our time is almost over, and we will let all this wonderful.
Hi, Carolina.
Bina, hello.
Hi.
Congratulations to the team. It has bin beautifully done. And Rania, I felt like, very metaphysical about your project, able to connect to somebody who know in past or somebody somewhere. I found it as very metaphysical and absolutely, it would have been a privilege to see it in person. That would have made all the differences. And Steve, absolutely beautiful. To have a concept like this and to install it is not going to be a very easy thing. And a big congratulations to your work and the team for getting it organized. So I think after all these things, we will be able to see these things in person, and that will be really great. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you can visit Saudi, Jeddah, and
I know. I'm not very far distance wise. I'm in India, but yes, because of COVID, we really don't know how it would have been pre-planned well. That means it would have happened. Yes, it is. We will meet soon at some other place. It's going to be a continuous process. I know that. So we will meet somewhere.
hopefully.
Right.
Thank
And
you.
I really felt, when you were showing the little small video, I find it as very metaphysical and, very spiritual about the beyond something which we cannot imagine. So it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Carolina, we absolutely should going, and we are really thankful for this event, and to see you in Switzerland, maybe somewhere around the world, and
maybe in Jeddah, or if you're gonna come a bit earlier, I will see you. Yes, of course, with great pleasure. It was really an honor for all of us, for to see the incredible cultural event, and thank you all for joining the Art Talks tonight.
Thank you very much, Carolyn, and thank you for everyone as well.
thank you.
Thank you again.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Debbie. Goodbye, Adiel. Goodbye, David, Laura, and Fabiana, and Colette, and Maria. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. It was really wonderful to see you. And waiting for you. Sorry, my voice is going a bit down. Hopefully see you on Friday for another inspiring art talk. We are going to talk about something very touching again with art, and hopefully have yes, see you all again there on Friday at 8 o'clock during. Goodbye, everyone, for evening. Bye.